everybody. It's me. It's Jim Jam. I'm not evil tonight or any other night. It's still me, Jim Jam, and our first stream of 2021, which is super exciting because not only is it the first time that we're streaming this year on the DAT network, but it is the first time we are playing a little game called Atma, which is a new released. It's a role-playing game that uses cards, a role-playing card game. It is courtesy of Meromorph Games. They are a super cool company that said, we want you guys to stream a playthrough of our super cool game. And we said yes, because that's who we are and that's what we do. I'm not the only one here tonight playing. We have several others, familiar faces on the network, and somebody else who is a longtime friend but hasn't actually been on one of our streams yet. So I'm super excited to bring her on board. We have Megan with us. We've got Lamar. We've got Xander. And the first time I get to play a game on a live stream with Jen Zhang. And I'm super excited.
Yay! Lucky you.
Lucky me, right? It's gonna be a good time. How's everybody doing tonight? How y'all feeling? Are we good?
Ready to roleplay and dive into a different world.
Ready to dive into a different world. That's exactly what we're gonna do. It's good to know. You know what? I guess we'll just talk about what Atma is. What is this role-playing card game? So the basics of it are that it is incredibly narrative focused. This game is designed to be very simple. There's not a lot of heavy mechanics. It's designed to be played with no prep, so they really are focused on you being able to, pick up this game, play it in about 2 hours, and not have to devote a lot of time to prep or notes or anything between games. There is a GM, me, and then you guys are the players, but where the whole system is really collaborative. While I'm going to narrate obstacles and NPCs and enemies you might face during the story that we're building together, I'm really not playing against you guys, and I might even throw things in the story specifically to help you. If you get stuck or things are going poorly, I can actually, in order to build the story and move it forward, I might just throw things in there that actually help you guys. I also might turn to you guys for story ideas. You guys are really here to build a lot of the story as well. So when I say, there's this trader who, looks like they're wounded and I don't have a really good idea, I might say, like, I don't know what kind of a wound do they have? Did they break their arm or their leg or whatever? And you guys can actually help come up with some of these ideas so that we sort of build the world and the story together. And it's, it's good. It's very, very collaborative, which is something that I was really eager to get into because, we play a lot of other more dice-based role-playing games, and it's very much like the GM is the enemy and the heroes are the players, and you have to kill the GM. It's like, no, I don't want to. Stop stabbing me with your swords and shooting me with your fireballs. Just want to be friends. It'll be good. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's get into the character stuff just a little bit, because I want you guys to understand a little bit about how your characters work. And I'll actually pull up one of the character cards that we can look at so you can sort of understand who your character is and how they work and what all the numbers and whatnot mean. Now, again, there's not a lot of stats and stuff that you have to really remember or worry about. But as a character, each one of you is you have your main character card that I have pulled up right now for Rain Petal. Now, there's the name, obviously, and you'll note that there are these stats on the side. There's the one at the top is your toughness, then there's calm, there's hasty, there's bright, and there's sly. Those stats are going to be modifiers that you add to your dice rolls when you make checks to do moves and stuff. And it all becomes pretty self-explanatory as you play through the game. But just keep in mind that if I ask you to make a roll and you're using your calm skill or your calm trait, that +2 that's next to the blue eyeball on your calm, that is the modifier that you're adding to your dice roll. Similarly, if there's a minus, that's a penalty that you're taking. Also on the card, you'll notice that you have one of the first abilities that you have unlocked at the very start of the game. This ability is a move that you can do that only your character can do. Now, there are some default moves that everybody can do, but the one that's listed on your card is one that only you get. For Rain Petal, it's Arsenal. It says you wield an array of guns on missions for Aspera Battalion. You can shape water into small objects like keys or bullets and infuse each one with a special effect. And then it lists some different things that you can do. Now, the cool thing about Atma is that, again, because it's so narrative based, like they give you this idea for shaping water. And if you have a really cool for application for that you don't think necessarily directly fits a mechanic, you can still try to use it. You can still try to fit it into the narrative because, as I mentioned, fashioning water into any small object. So it's like you need something to pick a lock with, or you need extra bullets, or you need a chisel to knock a tile out of the wall or something. Like anything that you can think of to do with that shaped water ability, as long as you can justify it in the narrative, it works and it's good. There might be a role that I ask for certain things, but at the end of the day, if you can narratively describe it, you can do it. Under that, in italics, there are some props that you have access to as your character. For Rain Petal, she's got pistols, a rifle, and a canteen. Obviously, that's not a big list of equipment, but again, we're not focused on having a ton of equipment and a ton of different stats. Props are basically anything that you are carrying or that's in your environment that you can use to help you or to drive the story forward in some way. I might throw props out on the table at times. You have the ones listed on your cards, and then again, I might introduce some props to the story later on. Now, that's not the only card that characters need to worry about. That's the main one, but you'll notice that next to your character card on the board, there are other cards. Some of them are flipped over and they just have text. That text is actually just story-based. So you can learn more about the world of Atma and the character that you're playing reading those cards. But then on the opposite side, the dark side of the card, are the mechanics, is a new move. So you start the game with one other move unlocked. For Rain Petal, it's this tidal wave move. You can lay down suppressive fire, you roll plus calm, and then it tells you blah, 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 here's what happens with that. Now, every time that we complete a scene in the story to move the story forward, you're gonna unlock a new ability. That's kind of like how you level up, is by unlocking new special moves that only you can do. And then in the final scene, you have an ultimate ability, which is, that's your super move. And at the end of the game, at the climax of the story, you have this really cool ultra ability that you can do. Now, of course, on top of that, there are just some standard things that everybody can do. There is a reference card underneath all the move cards that you have. The first stat reference card, the one side of it just shows you just basics about those stats that I was telling you about. But then if you flip that card over, you'll note that there are default moves. There's Rumble, which is basically just any kind of melee attack that you could do. A Barrage is any kind of firing or throwing or, whatever it is that you're trying to hit somebody that's far away if you do an attack. Realize is it's basically like a perception check. You're trying to observe things in your environment. There's a coercion roll, which is just persuasion, deception, anything like that is going to be a coercion roll. And then there's surviving. You're trying to stave off a poison. You're trying to hold your breath. You're trying to swim a long distance. All those things are going to be survival rolls. And they will tell you what stats that you're going to use when you make a roll in that a default move like that. So you have options so that you can kind of choose which stat you want to use to give yourself a better bonus. Now, when you use a move, there is a dice roller on this cool little virtual tabletop that they have available. And when you use the dice roller, it's going to let you pick which stat you want to add, and it's going to roll 2d6 for you. It'll do all the math for you. As long as you pick the right stat, it's going to do that math for you. And then on a 7 or higher on any roll, that's a success. You succeed on what you're trying to do. You tell me what happens next, or I'll tell you some of the stuff that happens next, and the story will move forward. If you fail, that would be on a 6 or lower. So if your result is 6 or lower, that's a failure. And at that point, you actually narrate how it goes wrong. I turn to you and, it's like, all right, well, you couldn't break the lock, so what happens? And then you kind of describe to move the story forward. Okay, well, this, and this happened, and it didn't work out. Okay.
The lock breaks you.
The lock breaks you. That's right. At that point, whenever you make a move, whether you succeed or fail, you can't go again until at least one other person has done something that requires a roll. So basically, there's no like initiative or like strict turn order. It's just you do something, and then whether you succeed or fail, somebody else has to do something before you can go again. And there might even be times where if I've noticed somebody hasn't spoken up in a while, I might just turn to them and say, hey, you wanted to do this. We'll get back to that in a second, but I really wanted to know what, Jen was doing over here. So that everybody, basically there's no strict turn order, but we kind of just in general help each other to make sure that everybody's participating in the game and making things go along. Now, the only other thing that I think I really want to get into before we just start playing and get into the story are tokens. I don't roll any dice as the GM. I have instead a resource called tokens. When you succeed on a roll, I will get tokens. I can spend tokens to add NPCs or enemies or props or plot twists to the scene and sort of shake things up. Those are the resources that I use to contribute to the story. Different things that I can do cost different amounts of tokens. But basically nothing that I do really has like a chance of success or failure. It's just, I just make things happen by spending these tokens. I also, when you fail something, just so you know, if there's a really important check that you're making, and I think, well, in order to move the story along, I really want this to happen. Even if you fail, I can let you succeed, and I just get extra tokens for that. So instead of just getting 1 token for your success, I would get 2 tokens. So basically it's like, I can let you succeed now, but that allows me to manipulate the story more later on. And that's just kind of how I'll be contributing to the game and affecting it. With all of that said, I think that the best way to get into this would be to just start playing. I don't want to sit here and explain things for a whole, 3 hours. This game is designed for no prep, so let's just dive in and let's set our scene.
Welcome to a world near our own. History changed with the discovery of Atma, a volcanic mineral that empowers the living and entwines the dying. Machines have since evolved true artificial intelligence, though they remain shackled to specific routines, while Earth's many satellite moons have cracked open to reveal an inquisitive alien race. Nations have contracted in these turbulent times, and the result is a tenuous piece across the map. It is in the Restless Zones, the cracks in the map between nations, where trouble stirs. Those who dwell here can rely on no one for aid, except you. You are a skilled adventurer, ready to test your limits against the world's dangerous frontiers. You won't be alone. Other heroes have answered the call. Tonight you find yourself in Tipper City, a metropolis in the far north ruled by 3 powerful beings known as the Triptych. Order is enforced by the Conclave troops at their command, but peace is tenuous as the members of the Triptych war among one another and the people of Tipper City become caught in the middle. If that weren't bad enough, a snow devil howls through the city streets. This apocalyptic winter storm has shut down half the city, and everyone with an ounce of sense is hunkered down near a warm fire. While most seek shelter, others seek opportunity. An old friend, Mac Wiggles, known for dubious deals and criminal enterprise, has a job for you. Using the storm as cover, she means to make a score and get out of Tipper City for good. Your job will be to keep her alive until it's done. Your motives, though, are your own to decide. The sky is getting darker. It's going to be a long, cold night in Tipper City.
That was cool. I already saw in the chat a lot of people were saying, are those the dulcet tones of Brian Summer himself? And yes, they were. So what was just described? We have every game starts with a backdrop. In this case, we're in Tipper City. There's also an overall story, and that is tonight, the long, cold night. Your goal for this evening, the whole story is going to play out, and your goal is to keep your contact, Mac Wiggles, alive through the whole night. Now, this card will also affect everybody where at the end of every scene, you're all going to be taking 1 harm. Harm is something that you have a number of hearts at the bottom of your character card. If you take harm equal to the number of hearts you have, you're sort of debilitated. You don't really die. You just kind of like you get knocked out, or you're limping along and you need help, and you guys will have to work together to help each other out. And then also this evening, in effect, is the Snow Devil, this incredibly intense winter storm that is raging all night long. Now, as I had mentioned, we're going to be playing through scenes. There are 3 scenes in every game of Atma, and our first scene is at the Tukatok Jewelers. Every scene has one of 2 goals that you need to complete. For this particular scene, I'm actually going to choose the goal sort of unilaterally, but in future scenes, we'll actually work together to decide which goal for the scene do we want to try to get you guys to achieve. And in this one, there is a piece of loot that you are required to get from this jeweler's as the city undergoes this horrible storm. Now that I've explained some of that, I do want to talk about the characters that we see sitting around this fire in the gutted remains of an old diner that has long been out of business. Mac is in the room as your contact and employer for tonight, while this blizzard rages outside. And through the flurries of snow, you can see the glowing signs for a dozen or so businesses, one of which is this jewelry shop that you know is your target for the evening. As we look around the fire, we see a huge armored bear. And Lamar, I would love to learn more about your character.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Belyaga. I'm a giant bear with a cannon on their back. I once helped protect a large militia in the northern part of the city, but my owner has yet disappeared. So now I wander the streets to find whatever I want. I say I, but really I am we, for I hold many souls within my body. Why? We'll find out. But people tend not to care about that. What they tend to care about is the giant cannon that is strapped on my back. I am Belyaga.
You are Belyaga. I do have one question, which is why do you think Belyaga has signed on for this heist tonight?
Humans seem to like trinkets that are shiny, and I am very interested in seeing why they find things to be so useful. For the only things that are of use is fish and the cannon that is strapped upon my back. So I would like to see.
So you're just here as like a human behavior study?
Well, yes. For the rest of the humans either have guns, they scream, but these like trinkets. And why will help me understand why I have a cannon on my back.
Excellent. Most excellent. Also sitting around the fire, we have another character. A sort of shadowy figure, Rain Petal. And I would love for Megan to tell us more about that.
Well, Rain Petal knows very little about her past because she doesn't remember her former life because you see she's a ghost.
Ghost.
Ghost. Oh, sorry. I forgot to tell you all that she's a ghost.
Ah!
Oh, thanks, Google. I don't know if you guys heard that. Anyway, but yes, she made friends with an agent because she was a part of a research base that was studying ghosts, and there were pirates that came and caused this big ruckus, and she saved this agent and escaped, and now she's here with all of you, and she's very excited to get some sparkly things from this jewelry store.
Do you think there's any specific reason that Rain Petal signed on for this heist, or is it just this is purely a money gig?
Oh, Rain Petal would like some of the things in the shop. I like all sorts of things and I want to learn about them. So Miss Wiggles said that I could take whatever I wanted. So I'm here and I'm all hers.
All right. All right. There are several other figures sitting around the flame. One of them appears to be a robot on another robot. And Jen, I just must hear more about this.
Yeah, so we are Tengu and Orochi. I'm the good-looking one. Just kidding. The way you can tell us apart is Tengu is a battle mech. I am a spy satellite. I talk, he doesn't. So I look good and talk, he's just big. And I ride him. Tuesday night, am I right? So we used to do things. We used to be programmed to do things. I was spy satellite, he was battle mech. We're collectively responsible for like tons of unspeakable death, whatever. Not important. The important thing is we went off grid somehow, you know, mysterious reasons, whatever. The important thing is we found each other and now we're best buds. We kind of have to be because we've had to fashion this bioreactor that we share. So we're kind of stuck together. So it would suck if we didn't love the crap out of each other. Am I right, big guy? He loves that. He loves it when I do that. Anyway, yep. So that's our story.
Oh, thank goodness.
There's a sticker on it.
Breaking into a jewelry store tonight. I am hesitant to ask.
All right, so here's the deal. This bioreactor, it's only got a certain amount of time that's operational, right? Don't feel sad for us, right? You're pretty much dying the moment you're born. Something for all of us to think about.
I'm dead.
I'm a bear.
She knows what I'm talking about. Him, not so much. He's a bear. But this was modified actually to ingest. This bioreactor was modified to ingest human food. Clever modification because that's always around. And then we discovered we like human food. Human food is good. So we ran some calculations on the bounty that we're gonna get for participating in this heist. And it's enough for us to have a human food every day for the rest of our lifespan. So yeah, so we're here for the food. We're a food-motivated mech. That's us.
Perfect.
That's why I break into jewelry stores. I want one human food every day.
That's all you need.
There is a giant white alien.
Yes.
And Sander, tell us about Vistat.
Vistat is sitting there, and you can see the fire is reflecting off of their skin, and it's like the surface of the moon. There are craters. It's sort of sparkly, reflective. As soon as the attention sort of comes on Vistat, there's a sort of screen-like thing that's the visor in front. It comes to life with a red light, and it says, "Greetings! I am Vistat. I am known as an alembic. We are the race, of course, that were born from the moon. Turns out they were eggs. I was designed for horrible carnage, and an unspeakable gravimetric energy resides within me. But don't worry, I have a green thumb, and I've come to cultivate life instead of taking it."
Yeah. How did you get tangled up in this jewelry store robbery?
Well, I did spend some time under, a tutor who taught me the ways of farming, but it turns out you need money. Money can be exchanged for goods and services, including land, which I need to till to create life.
Sounds good. So we've got a war mech in it for the burgers, and somebody else in it to grow some carrots.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a wild ride.
Jim.
Yes.
So, our contact asked for a moon monster, a giant two-bodied mech dragon, a actual water ghost, and a bear with a cannon in it to
Well, kind
to
of. Because the thing is, as I had mentioned, tonight is the night of what is known as it is a living malevolent blizzard known as a snow devil. These things sometimes bear down on the city. Everybody seeks shelter. Nobody goes out in the streets. And so it's not so much that Mac was specifically looking for a bear, a war mech, a murderous gardener, and a ghost. It's that you guys are the only ones who were crazy enough to take a job during a snow devil in order to break into this jewelry shop. Which, as I had mentioned, is just down the street, just less than a block away. You guys are sort of huddled around this fire. Mac has been going over the job tonight. She says, "Look, there's this piece that I need to get my hands on. As I told Rain Petal, anything else that walks out of that store is your business. I just need this one piece. Once I get it, I'd also like you to help me get out of town, all right? After tonight, I am done with Tipper City, at least for a while. I have an escape route all planned out, but I think I'm going to keep it to myself if you don't mind. Not that no disrespect, and it's not that I don't trust you, it's just that I've lasted as long as I have in this business thanks to a healthy level of paranoia. I'll tell you where we're going when we're going there, So, who's ready to brave the cold?
I'm ready, as I don't feel cold.
This climate is much like the moon.
What could possibly go wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
I'm a bear.
So, what do you guys do? Again, you're about halfway up. You're about half a block away from the jewelry shop. You know that the streets are mostly going to be empty tonight, which is sort of if anything, the blizzard does provide. If you can survive the blizzard, it provides a great cover for committing a crime. There are not going to be a whole lot of people out and about.
Well, I think that the only person who probably will struggle with the weather the most is you, Mac. The rest of us are probably fine, so are you going to be able to hang on to all of your limbs in the cold?
Well, I mean, keeping me alive is kind of part of your contract. If I could do this alone, I would be doing it alone.
Good
I'm not
point.
sharing the spoils of this for the fun of it.
Stick with Vistat, and we will make sure that you are fed and watered properly and get the adequate amount of sunlight that you require.
It is nighttime, and dead of night.
Do you have a mobile sun to warm Mac currently?
Oh, well, let me see.
Wait. I've seen the movie before where someone in a snowstorm cuts open a large beast and gets inside it. So we got a bear, we got a guy. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding, Velyaga. You're all right. You okay?
I would like to not do this plan. I have self-preservation.
Okay, well, I would like to make a roll as Vistat. I would like to do a survival roll to help protect Mac against the elements of the Snow Devil. And in survival, I'd be rolling hasty and bright, which I'm not so bright, but I do have a hasty +1.
So if you wanted to use hasty, that's sort of like basically I would imagine your plan would be just like you guys are just going to make a break for it and just run. You scoop Mac up and run and basically just try to limit your exposure to
I
the
will
cold.
help you dodge each snowflake as they come.
By rushing. So you guys are basically just going to try to make a run for it. I like that. It works for me. Go ahead and make your roll.
Okay, so I'm going to add my hasty stat bonus of +1. And this will roll 2 6-sided dice plus modifiers.
All right, and then we can all see the result, which
So close.
is not a success. So you got a 4. Again, 6 or fewer is a failure. Now, again, I have the option of just letting you succeed, but I'm not going to do that. I think we're going to go ahead. the failure. So you start running. You just scoop Mac up and just start rushing through the streets. Like just don't be in the cold so long, and you won't have anything to worry about. The problem is that while the cold doesn't really seem to phase you that much, because again, you're born for the moon. Cold's not that big of a deal to you. All of the ice and the snow is making it incredibly difficult to move, and you get sort of mired in it. And while you're doing okay, Mac is like even after just like 2 minutes of exposure, you can see like she's starting to shiver. She like the exposure is very, very quick. Now you can either rush back real quick. You've basically like plowed a path to this point. You can get back pretty easily. Or if somebody else has an idea, you guys can try to step in.
We require assistance.
How big?
Booms out.
How big is the Moon Man, Vestat? How big are you?
He's
I'm
pretty
called
big.
the Colossus. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
assume.
Titans, as they're known, are fairly large. You and him are probably of comparable size.
Oh, that's not okay. What Bel Yaga will do is like, I will provide protection, like I always have, for we are one. And Bel Yaga is going to run up and kind of like be like trying to like put their front paws on the giant Moon Man's shoulders to kind of create a barrier between the snow and Mac. So that they're both protecting Mac from both.
So are you just like sandwiching Mac between the two of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a bear papoose.
Yes. And I have a fuzzy stomach.
Yeah.
Really warm.
You can sort of hear like muffled protests from Mac as you have like you're basically hugging Vestat with Mac between you guys, and you can hear like she's struggling a little bit and yelling. But the fact that she's so active does lead you to believe that she is warm enough to be angry and not be so as concerned about the cold. The two of you could theoretically just carry her the rest of the way without too much trouble there. I don't even know that I could require a roll for it. The image is gift enough for all of us.
History has informed me that as long as a human is making noise, that they are currently still active.
Ah.
I think it depends on what the noise is, but yes. Dying noises, maybe not good.
Are you dying?
And she's like, no, I'm not dying, you idiots. What is this? Why are you just leaving back at the diner? Well, it's too late now. Let's go.
I heard no, so it's fine.
Do not worry, Mac. We are on our way.
With Mac sandwiched between the two largest of the group, you just sort of shove your way across the street, and soon you find yourselves in front of this closed down jewelry shop. Now, while you are standing there, looking around, I mean, it's closed, it's locked up. How are you guys getting in?
Oh, I could fashion a key out of water that would probably turn to ice, which honestly might be helpful, as long as I do it in the right order.
This girl's crazy. Just might work.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it. So you want to try to go up to the front door and fashion a key that will fit in the lock. So I imagine that you've kind of basically have to shape the key in the lock itself to make sure that it fits right.
Yeah.
So I think that I want to get I would say either a sly or a calm roll to see if you can. It's very delicate. Let's see if you can shape that water correctly.
Let's go calm, because calm is something that Rain Petal is not only good at, but is kind of her main demeanor. So
I like it.
Because she's dead.
because she's yeah. Oh no.
Oh no!
As
In
you're
body?
doing, you realize that it's the lock is very, very well made, and basically, what you're trying to do is fill the space in the lock with water, and then harden it so that you can turn it. And every time that you try, you find that some imperfection or the ice is too weak and it's not quite working. Does anybody else have an idea for getting through this door? After a few minutes, it's very clear that this plan from Rain Petals isn't cutting it.
Well, not to point out the obvious, but I got saber rockets, and our fuzzy friend here's got a cannon.
On my back.
We could do things a little less delicately, if you know what I mean.
I like this idea. I also have lots of guns.
Perhaps, Mac, is this something that would be desirable, this course of action?
That's up to you guys.
Guys.
Mac is sort of watching you talk about rockets and cannons, and her jaw kind of drops. And she's like, that's one way to get into the building. I mean, if that's what you guys want to
Explicit
do.
permission has
Or
been
I
granted.
will offer an option, which is we could try to look for some other way in, but that's up to you guys. I mean, whatever's gonna work.
I feel like if we blow a hole inside of this thing, it probably will trigger some alarms, maybe one or two. So maybe we should hear the other options.
Also, how long do we need to be in there?
Actually,
This should be pretty quick. If we can get into the vault quick enough and I can pick up my piece, then it's just a matter of however long it takes you to grab what you can and get out of there. This can be, hey, look, I'm not trying to steer you away from a smash and grab if you think that's the best way to do this. I mean, you do have a giant cannon on your back and you have more missiles than I've ever seen in one place, so.
well, young Miss Rainpetal, is your form permanent, or can you particularly go in between a crack of something and then maybe form on the other side and open it up like a lock?
Oh yes, easily.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Water, it is a very powerful mistress.
You can, if you want to try to basically squeeze yourself into a space like that by basically becoming amorphous and water-like, I would say that if you want to find an area where there's enough space for you to do that, you could make a realize roll to see if you can find a space like that. However, I also believe you were the last one to try something. So
I think so.
somebody
Mhm.
else
Yeah.
first before she could then try something else. So
Maybe.
Still like the gun idea.
Tengu or Orochi, would either of you have any scanning capabilities to be able to detect a weakness in this door or wall?
My current capabilities only allow me to determine people's fears. And this door, by my calculations, is not a people. Nor is it a food, unfortunately. But,
Not with that attitude.
I will offer that basically anybody, like if you're specifically looking like here's a good place to blow up the wall, anybody could make that roll if you wanted to. It would basically just be a realize check, using either observe or blah, blah, blah. What are the two skills?
Realize is bright and calm.
Bright and calm. That's right. So anybody could make a roll to be like,
You know
hey,
what?
this is a place we could blow the wall up, and it would
I'll do it.
work out. Sure. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and make yourself that roll. See if you can find a weakness in the wall somewhere.
It is bright or calm and calm.
Or you pick either one, whichever stat you like best.
I should not have been the one to roll this.
No.
Hey, you did fantastic. Observing the structural weaknesses of buildings is a specialty of Belyaga's. And you very quickly find there's this alley in the side of the building. And basically you guys watch as Belyaga's going around and tap on the wall, ears pressed to it. Occasionally you'll see Belyaga will you'll see a rat scurry across the ground, and Belyaga will talk to the rat, and the rat will talk, you can't understand but there's very clearly communication, and then Belyaga will go over to a new spot and test it, and you can see they're working, he's working together with these little rodents, and pretty soon Belyaga, you find a section of the wall, and you know that either your cannons or one of Tengu and Orochi's missiles would blast a hole right into the interior of this building.
Oh, Yaga just kind of doing one of those Looney Tune cartoon nose points towards the wall. This is a weak wall. It should come down. Scratch, scratch. Would you like to tear this wall down? Scratch, scratch. No?
Yeah. Brat, brat.
All right. The brat roll is going to be a barrage, so you can roll plus calm or plus sly as you target the wall with one of your missiles.
All right. Well, I got the +1 on the comm and the +1 on the sly, so it doesn't really matter which, right?
Mm-mm. It's flavor at that point.
Okay.
Do you like hone in on it, or do you I don't know what would be a good reference for sly? Are you just like firing missiles willy-nilly, like just in an attempt to destroy the wall, or do you have like pinpoint accuracy when you hone in on this one weak spot and blast it?
Let's say that I go into my zone when I'm ready to brat brat. Let's do calm.
You're thinking about those burgers you're gonna eat with all that money. One human food every day.
One every day. What could be better? So it's a +1, right?
Yeah. You can when you select the dice, you can actually select which stat you want to add to it. So it should give you an option to select calm.
Gotcha. I'm gonna hit calm.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll.
Yep. And you.
Yay.
Good God!
Stars. So yeah, I mean, the battle mech portion of Tengu and Orochi, like this missile just like pops out of over the shoulder. She gets the targeting reticule over her eye, and the whole alleyway shutters, dust and snow and brick go flying everywhere, and there is now a giant hole in the side of this jeweler's. However, when you do that, I'm gonna spend a token to add an extra to the scene, because while the streets are empty, this hole, as you're looking into this hole, as the dust clears, you see that perhaps the proprietor of the shop had hired some guards to stay on site even during the storm. There are a pair of conclave troopers who are inside the building looking in stunned silence at this wall that is now just open to the cold, and they both have assault rifles, and all of a sudden they're like, halt, stay where you are, and we'll figure out what to do, just a second. What do you guys do?
I don't think we should stay right where we are. I think we should just go inside, right? That's what we're here for, right?
That is the particular plan, yes.
Oh, good. Okay, I thought I had gotten something wrong.
As soon as this happens, Vachette turns around to Mac and just scoops them again into a sort of protective stance. So his back is to the opening and just says, "You are in danger. I will be protecting you now."
I can lay down suppressive fire.
My trainer once told me we should always try to communicate first. Shall I try?
Sure.
Okay. Bell Yaga is going to walk through the thing.
Okay.
And look at the guys. And go. This big giant roar to try to intimidate them away.
Yeah, definitely. That is definitely going to be a coercion roll.
I'll say.
So go ahead and give me one of those.
Oh, yep. I'm going to go ahead and use this +2 to tough.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yep, there we go.
Nice.
You do that. You storm right through and there's as this cloud is settling now, the hulking form of the armored bear with a cannon on its back comes tromping right towards these two troopers who just watched the wall explode in front of them, and you just unleash this unholy roar in their face, and one of them's just like, nope. He just drops his gun and he's just like, no, 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 nope. Nope. And he just backs up. He's now against the far wall in the floor of the jewelry shop, hands up, and he's like, and the other one sees this happening. He's like, no. He drops his gun too. They're both standing there. You know, they're like, you know what? We didn't get paid enough for this. No. Nah. They don't appear like they're gonna bar your way at all. They're just standing there in the back, hands up, looking at the ceiling, just hoping that you will ignore them. What are you guys gonna do?
They haven't seen the other three.
Yeah.
Inside the jewelry shop, Max sort of peeks her head up around from under your arm, Vishtat, and is looking. He's like, that vault door. That's what we need to get in. That's where the piece I need is. Anything else? You know, as I said, that's yours to take. I need to get in that vault.
Oh, well, should we ask those two people cowering over there if they could open the vault for us?
You're most certainly welcome to try that if that's the tactic you want to go with.
I shall go ask them if that is amenable to everyone.
Sure.
Okay. What would that be? Calming, maybe? Or...
You're probably looking for another coercion roll. You're trying to persuade them. You can sort of choose the tone you want to take, but overall it's going to be, so are you trying to basically capitalize on their fears and force them to do this? Or are you trying to calm them down and assure them that they're going to be okay, kind of thing? Or how do you approach it?
She's just blatantly asking them to open the vault.
It's just, please open the doors. Okay. Yeah, then go ahead and I would say that calm certainly fits. What is it? Coerce would be a plus calm roll.
Okay.
Is there an assist mechanic? Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yay! No,
No, you still did it.
Yeah.
So for an assistance, I would say that if you describe a way that you want to assist, I might add an additional modifier to a roll and say oh yeah, you can add a. So, for example, when Bel Yaga had come into the room and roared in their faces, if Tengu and Orochi had been and we, point guns at them, I would say, okay, that's going to give you an additional +1 to this roll that you're making.
Got it.
So, yeah, if you have a way that you want to assist something, by all means, speak up, and we'll add those modifiers. The two guards are standing there, and they're like, look, we actually don't work here. We were contracted just to stay on site for the evening. We don't know how to get into the vault, but we think that if you can get into the jeweler's office, there's probably a key card in there. That's just kind of standard. You might have to crack you might have to get into the computers. Usually, I think it has one of those key card locks. Yeah, it's a key card. So you're gonna need to get into there and have a key card made. We can't do it. We don't know how to do it. We would absolutely do it if we could, but we can't. We just don't know how. You got to make your own. You got to get your own key card.
You answered a very long time. But thank you. There's a key card in the office.
What do you guys do?
Which way is the office?
Looking around, you see that there is there's the vault, there's the show floor, and then there is a door that's an employees only door that you would presume goes back into whatever kind of offices are back there. You open it up, and indeed there is it's a big office. There's a space where there's a workshop where you see some half-finished pieces of jewelry are being fashioned. You see a desk with a computer, and you do see there is there are these electronic key cards, and there is an electronic key card coder, but you don't see a key card here. But there's a coder for one.
Do I not know what a key card looks like? Because I don't see it.
No.
However,
that's where you would make the cards. We don't know if there's I don't know if she has blanks in there. I don't know. We don't know.
Rain Petal would like to take the coder just as the thing she takes from the jewelry store.
Sure. Sure, yeah, you can. It's currently sort of set up. If you wanted to use it, you would need to leave it in place until you leave, but when you leave, you can certainly take it.
Vistat has picked up Mac and is carrying her again, and will carry her over to the office as well, and sort of hold her out to the card creator and be like, do you understand how this can be of use?
Yeah, we need to find either a blank or we need another key card that we can wipe and recode for the vault door. I mean, also, you don't have to carry me. The cold was a problem, but I can walk, you know. You don't have to carry me.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you are weak and need protection at all times.
That's not, I think we're, well, okay.
I was also weak and died, so...
You don't want that to happen to you.
No, indeed. No, I don't want to die. So I guess we are on the same page there.
Plus, it's funny.
There is that. So what are you guys going to do? The vault door does look like it's pretty heavily armored and reinforced. You don't think it would be nearly as easy to blast into as the outer wall of the structure was. At this point, you could try, I mean, it is all electronic. You could try to hack the lock on the door to see if you could open the vault door. You could try to find a way to get a blank key card or grab a key card that is already in use and wipe it and recode it. Or maybe even try to search for some other way into the vault. I don't know, it's all up to you.
Well, as a former spy satellite, hacking was one of my specialties. Responsible for a lot of deaths, though, so I'm a little squeamish about doing it again. But you know what? It's just the code to me. All I see is blonde, brunette, redhead.
Ignorance is bliss.
Oh, yes.
Should I give it a shot?
Yes.
Indeed. I don't know specifically. So they've got, the default moves. They got Rumble, Barrage, Realize, Coerce, Survive. I'm actually going to say this is you trying to coerce the computer. Because most computers are actually run by AI programs. And even shackled ones that are set to specific routines still have a limited form of intelligence. So you actually are trying to hacking for most AIs is more like trying to sweet talk this thing into opening, or intimidating it into opening, and going against its shackled routines. So go ahead and make a coercion roll.
All right.
Use your tough for it.
I could use my tough. I could use my sly.
Yep.
Which I'm gonna use my sly.
Okay. So you sort of interface with the lock, and you actually get a ping from the AI, the security AI in the building, and it says, I don't recognize you.
We're gonna do a little good cop, bad cop. One of our specialties here. I'm gonna say, see my buddy here? His name's Tengu. And he's really itching for some action, if you know what I mean. Now, my war days are over. I'd rather not see any more bloodshed, even if it's just ones and zeros, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna go ahead and
Good body.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Choice is yours, buddy. His way or my way.
It happens in in real time. It's only milliseconds, but in computer time, it's you guys almost have this full-on conversation, and you can feel the security AI is calculating responses and various outcomes, and at one point just says, now I remember you, authorized for entry, have a good day. And you actually watch as there's this huge as the pressurized lock disengages on the vault door.
Oh, good job.
Brunette.
Oh my god.
The vault swings open, and there are all manner of goodies inside. But at this point, Mac literally like struggles free of your grip and rushes into the vault. And when she's in there, she grabs a prop that I'm going to pull up and play. You see this huge glittering gemstone that is in this glass case. And without any fanfare, realizing that this is really nothing more than a smash and grab, no subtlety to it, she just smashes through the case, grabs onto this giant, glittering, multifaceted diamond, and stuffs it in her pocket and says, "This is what I came for. I say if there's anything else you guys want, we're gonna need to get out of here pretty soon. I don't think this was a very quiet operation. We're gonna have to blast our way out of here before too long."
Hey guys,
Sure enough.
considering she grabbed the gem and stuffed in her pocket, I say we call this caper the Gem Jam.
The Gem Jam. That's good. I like it.
Oh,
It's the Gem Jam.
my God.
And it is about that time that you hear, I'm going to spend a token, add a twist. You guys can all now hear a klaxon blaring as while the security AI was fine opening the door to allow you in, wasn't quite fine with completely abandoning their job and activated an alarm. While the two guards the conclave troops have already been pacified, you know that backup will very soon be on the way as you grab whatever you can, stuff it into your pockets, including the key card encoder,
Nice.
and rush out of the Tukatok Jewelers as you're running through the streets, having completed your goal for scene 1.
Nice.
Woo!
Mac, sorry. As the siren blares, Mac points to an old abandoned subway entrance as you guys are running down the street trying to get away from the jeweler shop. The forgotten tunnels beneath Tipper City are known as the Freezer, and they are a maze of icy tunnels known for swallowing those foolish enough to explore them, never to be seen from again. Mac directs you to go towards the nearest subway gate, and there is a gate that is actually pulled up, blocking off the entrance. But she struggles free from your grip once again, and pulls up the bottom of the gate. You can see now that it's actually been rigged to provide a way for you all to get in. Just come on, this is step 2. We're getting out of the city. Let's go. And as you pass out of the streets into the freezer, into the next scene, in fact, you all, even though most of you don't really feel the effects of the cold, you still have, like Tengu and Orochi, still have joints and internal fluids. The Titan still occasionally slipping and stumbling on the ice. Belyaga, actually a living creature and subject to cold, and even the ghost, parts of her freezing a little bit as you complete the scene. You all do take 1 harm. So keep that in mind if you get into any trouble. At the bottom of your character card, you'll see a number of little hearts. And if you take harm equal to the number of health that you have, then you'll become sort of debilitated until you can get help. So keep that in mind. But either way, you successfully completed scene 1. You are now in the freezer, and at this point, whereas I had sort of chosen the goal for the first scene, really for every scene, we sort of collectively decide like what's going to be the goal that we go for on this one. So the freezer has conclave checkpoints that are built into the abandoned subway tunnels during the city's urban expansion. Rarely staffed due to partial collapse, smugglers use it now. Ice covers everything: doors, locks, stairs, subway cars, and even the occasional body that you come across. Now, as you're trying to navigate the freezer, you guys can try to accomplish one of 2 goals. You can try to barter for 2 halves of a device held by opposing factions. So basically, you would encounter people using the freezer who have something that you need, or you can go the smash and grab route that has been the goal so far, and try to just blast through the caverns to escape the freezer, to end this scene. Which goal do you guys think we should shoot for on this one?
It seems as though smashing has worked so far for us.
I do enjoy smashing.
Don't like it when I talk to them.
All right. So your objective will be to try to breach through the cavern, exposing a hidden path out of the subway tunnels. Now, as you're saying this, Max says, "All right, that's great, but we can't just go smashing any walls. We still got to get, to the right spot. There's a space that will actually take us outside the city limits, so that we don't have to deal with the conclave, who's definitely going to be on high alert now that we have what we came for. So we're still going to have to navigate these tunnels."
Well, you should have said that in the first place.
Back in the arms.
As you scoop back up, she's just kind of like pouting at Rain Petal, like, "Tell me how to do crime. I've been doing crime since you were alive."
You're very good at it.
Jim, now that we're in the
Yes.
second scene, do I get to flip over this card?
Indeed. Now thanks for reminding me, everybody gets to flip over their next card as you have passed into scene 2. So you all get a new special move.
Ooh.
See, it looks like for Rain Petal, you get a Curious Soul, which basically looks like you can grab something from somebody. You could just steal things from people.
Yep.
When you want to have them to be yours.
Mine.
It looks like Tengu and Orochi, you guys get the Snake Bite maneuver. Orochi was built to rein in rogue systems when you hurl him at a device. Oh, wow. So basically, what is this? Tengu would pick up and throw Orochi at somebody. That's awesome. To briefly
Fastball special.
Yeah.
The fastball special, to try to latch on and briefly control other rogue systems. That's really cool.
That's been real helpful last time.
Yeah.
Let's see, Vestat, you get brought the farm. After one war with Titans and another with humans, you abandoned battle and took up farming. When you plant or fertilize flora, roll plus calm. And they bloom in only a minute, so you can grow plants in a minute. That's actually kind of a neat ability.
Yep.
And then Belyaga, you've got My Little Friends. You can now try to possess one of the many souls that inhabit your bare body, can try to leak out and possess small critters. You make a roll plus tough, and if you succeed, you basically like Cinderella these creatures, and they are now your little like minions. That's actually really cool. So armed with cool new abilities, knowing that you have to navigate some abandoned and almost definitely dangerous frozen tunnels, what do you guys do?
Well, I could put some water before us so we could try to slide the whole way there, but it could be dangerous.
And this one is quite squishy. Pat, pat.
That's true.
I wonder if I could do this. And then Belyaga will kind of like try to sing a song, but it just comes out and tries to call as many lovely frozen woodland creatures as possible.
All right, so you want to try to confer with little guys. Go ahead, and if you want to basically just use your new ability to try to possess little critters and see if they can help you find your way through the tunnels, go ahead and make that roll. I believe it was plus tough.
Success! Roll
Yeah.
Do it. Your great bestial cry rings out through the frozen tunnels. Before long, there are all manner of like rats and weird like ice bats that flutter around down around Belyaga, and all of them get this weird like blue glow in their eyes. And now you have not only the bear's body, but the many tiny little bodies of your minions now to control. And they begin leading you through the tunnels as you make your way they actually lead you for a while. And now I am going to spend a token. I don't want to do that because it'll randomly play a card. I want to spend a token to add some extras to our scene, because as you are moving around, suddenly all of the little critters that have been leading you along scatter Bel Yaga as their natural instincts sort of take over momentarily as they smell something in the air. And as you're wondering what it is that they're smelling that has scared them so, you hear some feral growling rumbling up through the tunnel. And all of you recognize that sound as the sound of roaming creatures known as Wendigos.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Experiments.
Oh heck no!
Either ghost-possessed wildlife or mutated squirrels. Either way, the fluffy-tailed Wendigos are nobody knows why they are and how they came to be. However, they are predatory. They are dangerous. And as I play them, it costs it costs one token to play them. But I'll go ahead and spend an extra token as they ambush you. Oh, no. And they just Bel Yaga, who was sort of leading this charge, these Wendigos just ambush you all of a sudden, start slashing and gnawing. I'll spend an extra token, use their slash and gnaw ability to deal a point of harm to Bel Yaga as this Wendigo rushes out and just starts clawing and biting him. And they're like rolling around now on the ground. Bel Yaga is in trouble. He has suffered harm.
Oh no!
And he's
actually,
momentarily like confused as like his many minds and bodies like scatter as the ambush happens. It's very clear that he's going to need assistance very soon. Did you want to say something, Lamar?
yes, actually, Bel Yaga has this lovely ability because Bel Yaga is more than just a bear with a cannon. They are an armored bear with a cannon. And so I'm going to deflect that harm to hit one of my armor. It is useless until I fix it, but it will negate that harm.
All right, so instead of clawing into flesh, this Wendigo is just tearing off chunks of your armor. You can hear like the scream of metal as the plates are torn away. This thing is trying to get at Bel Yaga. He is still sort of momentarily dazed as his critters, like the sensory overload just becomes too much for the bear form to process. And it's very clear he is going to need help from somebody. But what do you guys do?
Do these did the Wendigo have any particular fear or weakness?
Why don't you make a realize roll as you like sort of go through your data banks and see if you know anything about Wendigos that might be of use.
Gotcha. That's just gonna be a straight roll with no modifiers, I think.
So no, it's so the realize roll. Let's go back to the reference card. We'll look at realize. You can roll plus bright, basically just raw intelligence, or plus calm.
Nerds. Oh, I think I got the calm. Let's see. I got +1 calm. Ooh. All right. We're gonna do the calm. We're gonna ooh-saw.
Nice.
Success. A success. So yeah, you're like going through your data banks, like what do you know about Wendigos? You know that in packs, they're especially dangerous. A lone one, like this one seems to be, wouldn't be too much trouble for a skilled combatant. But you also know that mostly they're creatures after your own heart. They really just want to eat. They really, really want to eat. They love to eat garbage. They especially like to eat rotten food, garbage, and sort of like spoiled rotten meat and stuff is especially attractive to them, though they have no problem taking down live prey. So right now, Tengu and Orochi is going through the databanks, then just like spewing all of this information about Wendigos out. So you all sort of know this and like hear this. What do you guys do with this information? What does Vistat do with this? Like, I would like to see how it reacts.
Yeah, Vistat is going to set Mac down because he's had to deal with predators on the farm all the time. He's going to calmly move up to the Wendigo and reach out one of these giant like moon rock hands, and he's going to use the ability Corrupted Vessel. The void within you hungers to escape, and so he's going to sort of lose control of that void, and it's going to pour out and into the Wendigo to possess them. So I have to make a tough roll on a 7+. Void energy leaks forth to possess, poison, or corrupt something nearby.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to add my tough and make a roll, please. Success!
A success!
Yes.
You got, it looks like a total of a 7, which is a success. So you reach out with the void, and it like stuns the Wendigo as like it this dark energy seeps into their body. They attack. The attack stops. Now there is one thing other than that. This says that on a 9-, the GM might add, I can spend a token to say that this burst of negative energy corrupts something else too. And I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and spend a token to say that this burst of energy, since the Wendigo was like on Bel Yaga, you can't avoid hitting Bel Yaga with this corrupted energy. And now Bel Yaga is his eyes like glow red as this corruption seeps into him. He is stunned, how do you want to use this energy? So it looks like you could subdue a possessed, poison, or corrupted thing. Or no, sorry.
Yeah.
So you can possess, poison, or corrupt something nearby. You wanted to corrupt it, right? Or is there something else that you wanted to do with it?
Going for possession on this one.
Possession. Okay. So Bel Yaga becomes poisoned by this energy, but you possess the Wendigo, and now it stops, and its claws droop to its side, and it's sort of like looking at you, and you know that you can now influence it. But you can see that Bel Yaga has this like now sick look, and he starts to sway back and forth and falls over. Bel Yaga, you are from this going to take 1 point of harm from the poison. And you guys are definitely going to have to solve that issue, because if you don't help him soon, that poison is going to continue to be a drain on his strength. I will say that until you help Bel Yaga, you're tough. I'm going to reduce that from a +2. You're gonna go down to a +1. So you're going to take a -1 penalty on your tough from here on until somebody manages to.
There's the gem I know. There's the gem I know and love.
Yeah, there he is.
I was wondering where you were.
Oh gosh. So that was you spending a token, so I still have technically made the last roll?
So yeah, you technically made the last roll. So now I would say that you can, like, if there's something else you want to do at this point, if there's anything that comes up with a roll, then we'll definitely have somebody else go, but I don't know what it is you want to have the... basically, as part of possessing it, I'll say, like, if there's something specific you want the Wendigo to do, like, real quick, we can resolve that, because you did successfully possess it. I don't want it to just, like...
Right. If you want to take it that it could be an extended thing, I would like this to be my new best friend, and now I have a pet Wendigo. But if not...
I would say that you would probably have to, like, continuously maintain control over it. So every once in a while, for as long as you want to maintain control of it, I'll say that every once in a while I'll have you make a roll, and if you fail, this creature is going to go berserk. But otherwise, if you can maintain that control, yeah, he's your buddy for as long as it takes.
Yes, the farm requires other animals to tend to it as well.
All right. So you have this pet Wendigo now, this basically mutant monster squirrel. Bel Yaga's not looking too hot. He looks like he's having some issues because some of that void energy got into him.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Vistat.
If someone could restrain Bel Yaga, perhaps I might be able to help.
I can try. Sweet talk him. I don't know. Or Ghost Girl can.
I could cover him in water and it would turn into ice.
Ooh, that might not help the biological function. It would slow the poison, however.
I am poisoned. For no fault of my own.
Again, apologies for that.
It's okay. My owner always said that friendships would end.
Technically, that is correct.
I am poisoned.
So
We are poisoned.
in full transparency, I have a thing that could help this, but I made the last roll, so I can't make the attempt for it quite yet until someone else does something for a roll.
I'm a bear.
Is this a poison that could be talked out of possessing him?
Not really. You
It's
guys,
actually like
so this is kind of the point in the game where we can kind of get creative with how do we want to do this. Do you want to look like there are smugglers in the tunnels? Do you want to try to find somebody who might have an antidote? Do you want to try to find supplies to patch Bel Yaga up yourselves? Do you want to I don't know, try to take a sample of Bel Yaga's blood and fashion, synthesize something that'll restore him to health or whatever. Like, we can kind of get creative with how you want to deal with this, and we can sort of make things up in the environment that might help. It's kind of up to you guys. Like, what do you think would be cool as a way to get through this for Bel Yaga?
There are people that have been here a while in these caves, right? People who know.
Yeah, smugglers use them. I mean, they're not. The subway tunnels aren't they're not a public transportation system for the city anymore. They were abandoned. A lot of them have collapsed, and that has made them a good use. Like, smugglers use them quite frequently. For example, and you guys can tie some of this into your backstory. You can be like, of a smuggling gang that uses the tunnels quite frequently. You know where they usually are, and you know that they tend to smuggle a lot of different medicines. So let's go find them. That could be sort of a way that you want to approach this. It's up to you guys.
I mean, it just sounds like there are people in these caves that are more, they have more data than we do. So we should probably go do a little bit of chit-chatting. Talk some of these guys up.
You guys want to look for some help. Max seems to be pretty keen on the idea as well. She says, yeah, there's lots of... I've run a lot of people running supplies through these tunnels. We're able to find something that'll help the bear friend out. So you guys go searching through the tunnels. Whoever wants to sort of take the lead on trying to find one of these groups of smugglers in the tunnels, why don't you make me a realize roll, unless you have a special ability that helps you find things. Bel Yaga, don't forget, you're not like done too. Like, you actually can make rolls as well. Obviously you have that little penalty to your tough right now, but
little penalty?
You're not out. You're not done. You still have plenty of fight left in you, so don't feel like you can't do things.
Oh no, it's fine. I just feel very queasy. We feel very queasy.
I will try to search for people. Could I, since this place is covered in ice, essentially covered in water, could I sort of go and touch the ice and sort of spread myself within it as far as I can go and try to see multiple places at once?
I think that's a really cool sort of interpretation of Rain's ability to manipulate herself and her water and employ that into your action. So as you sort of you all just sort of wait in place while you see Rain Petal literally just melts and spreads molecular thin through the ice, trying to pick up vibrations for movement, trying to see what you can see, just trying to detect things that will lead you towards help. Go ahead and make a realize roll.
Yeah, I'll
Plus
do-
calm or plus bright.
I'll do calm because
Okay.
poor Rain Petal, she is not very bright. She is a -1. Woo!
Hey!
Yeah, that's pretty good. So
I
you
do it.
become one. You become one with the ice, and you don't so much see through the tunnels as you sort of feel movement along the ground, and you know that there are people in the tunnels. Maybe a mile's worth of tunnel that you'll have to trek through. But you find them, and as you guys make your way there, you see that there is a small, in one of the frozen subway cars, there are 4 or 5. I'll spend some tokens, and we'll add some people to this scene. I'm gonna add. Where's my guy? I'm gonna add an adept to the scene. It costs 2 tokens. Adepts are people who are able to sort of manipulate the energy that comes from this volcanic mineral called Atma, and they're able to. They're basically these like. They're wizard. They're techno wizards. They have all these cool ghostly powers, and there's one of them is sitting amongst a group of fellow smugglers, and they're sorting through whatever their latest haul is, and they see you come stumbling through the tunnels, and they see that you're all armed, and the one of them like steps forward, and you can see this like burning energy sort of coalesce around their arms. They don't attack. They seem to recognize Mac, and this person is standing there and says, What are you doing down here?
We come seeking assistance. Greetings, I am Vishtat. This is the friend that I accidentally poisoned. Do you perhaps have any spare antidote that could help this biological creature?
The glowing person takes another step forward and says, "Nah, we're not a hospital, so I don't really know that this is where you want to be."
I am aware of you not being a building, but I assumed that you would be a decent person. That is on me.
But if you're not a decent person, I don't know if you've heard of the great Gem Jam of 3021. Happened tonight. And we jammed a lot of gems. So if you're not a decent person,
And
perhaps
a card reader.
Oh.
Oh wait,
and a card reader.
so you're telling me that you're the reason the conclave's all kicked up topside and we can't complete our run tonight? We're trapped down in the tunnels because you guys stirred them up? And now you want us to what? Help your bear friends? This is gonna cost you.
Card reader?
No, I don't need a card reader. How'd you get that Mendigo to follow you? Is it some kind of control collar or?
Oh, this is my
What's
pet
going on there?
companion, Charlie.
Yeah, how'd you get it to like not tear your face off?
Well, for the same reason that my bear friend has been poisoned. Would you like me to perform this operation on you?
No, that's not it. I don't know that we can help you.
I would be willing to part with Charlie.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is some kind of weird mind control shtick. I don't. It's just gonna tear my face off as soon as you leave. So, nah, no deal.
Oh. Well, you could join me as a ghost.
Yes, you can join Raindrop as a ghost.
Seems the
For
only
my
option.
owner always told me to go down fighting. And if you do not help me, I shall go down fighting.
Do Do you want to try to sort of basically, are you trying to bully them into helping at this point?
Yeah.
Which is a fine option. I'm just asking if that's what you're trying to. I just want to make sure I'm getting the vibe right. If you're trying to bully them into helping, then go ahead and make me a coercion roll.
Can I say I have assisted Raindrop in this?
Yeah.
Raindrop in the last roll.
Well, I would say this though: you look pretty sickly, so I don't know that you're intimidating enough in your present form to.
While you're correct, Jim, I would like to remind you of a very important fact. I am an armored bear with a cannon on its back.
I'll tell you what, Lamar. I'll let you make a roll with no bonuses. If you succeed 7 or higher, then you'll give Raindrop a +1. But if you fail, you'll give her a -1.
Fair.
Well, actually, fair. Okay. Ready for this?
Yeah!
Hey!
Yes.
You managed to pull it together enough to look intimidating. It's the cannon, really. The
Right.
cannon isn't sickly, and this is gonna give you, Megan, can you add does it allow you to add a random modifier on the dice roll?
At the top, yes.
Give it a +1 on top of your coercion.
Okay, I'll roll tough. Ooh,
Yes.
I did it!
Wow.
Yeah.
Get bodied.
We're on a roll tonight.
So between seeing that you guys are very well armed, and you have a pet Wendigo, the trader, the adept, is like, you know what? This isn't worth it. Look, we got some medicine. We can help your friend. It's gonna cost you a little bit though. What do you have to give me? I'll trade. Fair trade.
Card reader?
I have this.
Fine, the card reader works. We'll take the card reader.
Oh,
You can have the medicine.
great.
Turns out you are decent people.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Well, Yaga, this sort of serum that they give you, an auto injector serum, you can use it to remove the penalty for the poison, restoring your tough to its normal levels.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that you could also use it to reduce your harm, give yourself back all of your life, but that would require like a specialty roll if you want to try to get some extra boost out of that serum.
I'm just going to take my tough back.
Sure. So you just really quickly pop the auto injector.
Wait.
In your beefy. Oh wait. What do you got? Yeah, you got something good?
As Beliaga is going to do this with the injection, Vishtat is going to stop your arm from connecting, twist it around, and move you so that you're in like a pinned position against the ground. As soon as Vishtat does this, when you subdue a possessed, poisoned, or corrupted thing, cleanse it and heal 1 harm.
Okay. Can you make me a?
I'm so sorry.
Make me a plus tough roll to try to subdue Beliaga real quick.
Yes.
I imagine that he would struggle just on instinct.
Right.
Try to pin him to the ground.
Success!
Hey,
Got an 8.
confused and in a weakened state, you just like grab Beliaga, shove him to the ground. He was gonna inject it in his arm, but you pop it right into one of the major arteries, increasing the serum's effectiveness and restoring 1 harm, or giving you back 1 health, Beliaga. So you no longer poisoned, and you have restored some of your health. And I think at that point, we're going to take a little break and come back and play some more Atma in just a few minutes. We will be back in 5-6 minutes. We'll see you then.
God.
Just craziness. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Atma is a role-playing card game for 2 to 5 players. It packs a full tabletop role-playing experience into a single, fast-paced 2-hour session fueled by a deck of fully illustrated cards. In Atma, one player takes the role of the Game Master or GM. The GM sets the stage, guides the story, and explains how the game world reacts to the player's actions. If that sounds intimidating, don't worry. Atma's cards prepare the story for you, while leaving you the freedom to decide how things play out. An innovative token system helps you challenge the players without overwhelming them. Meanwhile, players select a handcrafted character to pilot. Each one comes with a rich backstory and creative moves, but it's up to you to decide what they will become. A character fits on just 8 cards, simple enough to grab and go or learn as you play. Many role-playing games require weeks to prepare and years to finish. Atma lets anyone complete a full RPG experience in a single game night. It's tiny, takes seconds to set up, and expects zero familiarity with the rules. Perfect for getting new players hooked on the amazing creativity of RPGs. And Atma is a great learning tool for new GMs. The cards eliminate prep, while tokens teach you how to manage the story's tempo. A stage in Atma contains 51 illustrated, tarot-sized cards for the GM, some of which are double-sided. Character decks are 8 cards apiece, featuring gameplay on one side and backstory on the other. Finally, each game includes 2 dice and 15 tokens, everything you need to play. Every stage and character is meant to be replayed. You can pledge for a single stage with 4 characters and you'll be ready to go, or get all 4 stages and all 12 characters. That's 300 illustrated cards in total. So join our adventure and pledge to back Atma today.
everybody. Welcome back to our Atma playthrough. We are playing Atma, which is a role-playing card game developed by Meromorph Games. They had a very successful Kickstarter campaign that funded the production of the game. And if you noticed in our chat, we are posting that Kickstarter link because even though the initial Kickstarter campaign is over, you can still make late contributions to the campaign in order to get your own copy of Atma. Actual production of the physical cards that they are shipping out should be completed in the next couple of months. And then you'll be able to play this game yourselves. It is a lot of fun. It is a narrative-based game. It's we're all sitting here basically just telling a story for the next hour and a half or so. So I say we jump back into it. We are currently down in the frozen subway tunnels beneath a blizzard blanketed city, Tipper City, in fact. The crew has completed a heist to get a gem, and their employer, their job is to now get their employer safely out of the city, helping her survive the night as they literally just blast their way through all of the challenges set before them. Because this is not a group for subtlety. I don't know why we chose the heist story set for this particular group, because this is not a subtle group of sly thieves. This is a bear with a cannon on their back and a war mech. Yeah. So
with a moon druid,
right?
Yeah. And literally water,
and a ghost girl.
Yeah,
that's not
a
weird.
Water ghost, yeah,
not weird.
I think that Rain Petal would actually probably be the most suited for this actual heist job, but
except for the guns,
seems pretty down for the smash and grab option too. It doesn't seem to phase her one bit. So
I love Rain Petal. It's like, I'm an adorable water ghost with these guns.
Yeah,
a ton of guns.
So you had just cured Belyaga of some poison. From some corrupting energy that was necessary to use. You unfortunately, it was a little bit of friendly fire, but
but we gained a new friend
for drastic action, and you have a Wendigo friend, which at about this time. Well, no, because you just rolled, so I don't want to have you do something just yet. I'll say though, you can feel that energy from the possessed Wendigo is starting to weaken, and you know that there's going to be a struggle soon. You can either ditch the Wendigo, if you want to keep him around. You know that it might be a little difficult as you move through these tunnels. Either way, you're going to need to get back on track. You are trying to find a point in the frozen tunnels that you can breach in order to actually escape the limits of the city. You know that you can't take to the streets because the Conclave troopers are on high alert after you literally blew up the jewelry shop that you stole this big old diamond from. So you're kind of stuck down here in the tunnels.
Great gem jam.
Yes.
Yeah. Once we came across these smugglers, were they in an encampment of some kind? Were they kind of set up?
Yeah, they basically have this old frozen subway car as their own, and as you guys are as Belyaga is getting a little bit better, and Mac is actually talking to them a little bit now, and she says, they actually add something we might find useful. They came across this old subway map. I will add a new prop to the scene. We have a subway map.
Ooh.
Looks a little old. I'm not really sure how much use it's gonna be. But we could try to use it. Might shorten the trip a little bit. Also might point us in the wrong direction.
Ishtat sort of takes a look at it, and you can see the symbol on the visor sort of scan it, and then look around at the ice and say, "We must be on the blue line."
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so if that's true, I think we can follow it, and if we... Do we need to catch the yellow or the red after that? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Or we could just abandon the map. You got those little critters again? They seem to know where they were going. I don't know.
I believe it's probably best to do both. A direction to go is always better than no direction, and then preparedness is next to cannonness.
Guy's hilarious. What is he even talking about?
One knows.
I'm a bear.
All right. So how do you guys want to set out? You have the map. Again, it looks a little bit old. There's a whole bunch of different like markings and symbols on it. Some of them are sort of hard to read and smudged and difficult, and clearly written in some kind of like smuggler's code.
See, we do the blue line thing that.
Okay.
Yeah, and have the little squirrel guys be the canaries in the cages. You know.
Yep.
Teamwork.
Okay. Oh, Yaga's gonna go ahead and do their lovely death metal growl and get their friends back.
Summoning your little Cinderella creatures once again. Go ahead and make your roll. I believe it's a plus tough to see if you can call them to your side.
Oh yeah, this is a roll thing. Success!
Oh, yeah.
Success! You do it. You manage to regain now that you're no longer poisoned and no longer under attack from the Wendigo. A whole bunch of rats and weird mutated bat creatures, and even some like cat-sized. They're these weird little blue-shelled crustaceans that sort of cling to the ice, and they answer your call. And all these little critters form up around Bel Yaga, and then very slowly begin to spread out through the tunnels, leading you deeper and deeper in. And they lead you for quite a while. Indeed, following the blue line seems to work for you for a while, until you get to a tunnel that is like completely frozen over. You realize that at this point, you can the critters have no trouble like squeezing through and getting by and finding little cracks in the walls to scurry through. But you guys are going to have quite a bit more trouble with it. You could either divert or try to get your way or try to find a way to get through the ice.
What
tunnel
wall
through
has stopped us yet?
Yeah.
I feel like I know which way this crew is going to go.
Divert. What's wrong with you?
Vishtat sort of takes the assessment of the wall. You could see that his large rocky hand sort of goes over to feel for it. And then out loud you hear, I might be able to be of some assistance, but for you fleshy creatures, it may be quite dangerous.
Vistat, there's no specific card for this, but I'm going to spend a token now. Because as you're talking, the Wendigo starts to become restless, and that glazed look in its eyes starts to fade, and you realize that if you don't act to reassert control or pacify this creature, it is about to come to and become a very serious problem for your friends.
Just one moment, I must tend to my friend. And I'm going to make a roll.
Oh my.
All right. I will say that so the more times that you try to corrupt this creature and possess it, the more difficult it's going to become. So for this one, I'm going to institute a -1 penalty to your roll. But you can try to reassert control of it if you want to keep it around.
Got it. But I still add my tough.
Yeah, you're still adding your tough. It's just that wherever you can add that modifier, add
-1.
Do a -1, yeah.
Ooh, nope.
Okay. You try to reach into its mind once again, trying to reassert control, but it fends off that corrupting energy, whether it's a strength of will thing or whether it's because it's sort of like feral instincts just take over, and it just leaps on you.
Charlie!
Instinctively know that you're the one that tried to control it. And what I'm going to do is actually spend one more token. It is going to howl.
Oh no.
This is going to paralyze Vistat. And then it leaps forward, and it's going right for his throat. What are the rest of you gonna do?
Can I lay down some suppressive fire?
Absolutely, you can. You've got guns for a reason.
We do.
So you want to do the tidal wave? Is that what you're trying for?
Yeah,
All
the
right.
tidal wave. Mm-hmm.
Great. And this is perfect because you could either force it to move away, leave it stunned, or chew away its protection. So great, you just make a roll and succeed. So as it leaps forward, you pull out the rifle from your arsenal and just like this huge wave of fire. It's not accurate at all, but it's not meant to be. It's really just supposed to scare this creature, and the creature actually backs away, and you buy Vestat probably a few more seconds. Now, Vestat, if you're currently like paralyzed by this nerve-affecting howl. If you want, I would say that you could make a survival roll at any point to try to shake off the effects. Or other people can, because the Wendigo is now moving very quickly towards Tengu and Orochi after the barrage of cannon fire dies down.
I would definitely like to do the survival roll with my hasty.
Sure. Make a survival roll then.
Success!
Succeed! All right. So as this is happening, Rain Petal buys you a few seconds, precious seconds, and as that's happening, you just sort of refocus yourself and shrug off the effects of this. You're coming out of your paralysis, but this Wendigo is still in effect. Tengu and Orochi, you see it is coming right for you.
I'm going to try to...
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Go for it.
Well, Yaga has not used his cannons yet.
He has not.
And I figure if I can distract this thing just long enough, wink, Bel Yaga might be able to fire off a couple of those cannons.
Sure. If you want to provide a distraction, I would say that's probably another coerce roll.
Yeah, let's do that. So coerce, what is that? That's tough. Wait. Is that, do I add a tough?
Yep. Sly or tough.
Coerce is sly or tough. I would say that for this particular instance, because you're trying to create a distraction for it, I would say that sly would feel like a better.
Okay. So I'm like, whoa, big guy. Sun's getting real low. And...
Hey, you succeed, and it is focused on you. So focused, in fact, I'm actually going to spend a token myself. Activating its ability to rend and tear, slash and gnaw, and it just leaps on you. It is distracted by you as it just starts clawing at the plates of the armor on your arms, ripping them away.
And I'm like, whoa, big guy, I said the sun's getting real low!
It's going to deal 1 harm to you, Tengu and Orochi.
Dang it.
However, Bel Yaga, this does provide an opening if you wanted to use those cannons, or if somebody else wants to do something. Vestat, you're no longer paralyzed. You've come out of it at this point. Anybody can act at this point as this thing just starts ripping away chunks of metal and wiring from Tengu and Orochi.
Bel Yaga's going to go ahead and take one of the 2 shells they have upon them and load it into the cannon and kind of lean forward and go, Ursa Minor! And shoot.
All right. That is going to be a barrage roll.
Ooh, wow. Bel Yaga's terrible at that. All right.
It's a big cannon on your back. It's not the most accurate of weapons.
It's not that you're wrong. It's that you should be wrong.
Oh,
by
no.
1? Not by 1!
No.
Yeah.
You lower the cannon. Actually, you know what? On a failure, I should actually be letting you describe how this goes wrong. Tell me how this goes wrong as you fire the cannon.
It's been a long time for Bel Yaga. They have not been a siege cannon in a while. And after getting paralyzed, they're still a little wobbly. So when they finally shoot, their front paw kind of slips forward into the ice, and the shell goes wild.
Shell smashes into the wall harmlessly. The Wendigo is still ripping and tearing, but it's does anybody else want to act?
Let's see. I think Vistat is going to try something. With it being distracted, he's going to move over to that wall that we were trying to affect anyway.
Okay.
And pull out one of his pittons. It's a gravity pitton, and he's going to smash this into the wall, form his other hand into a fist, and use it as a rock to sort of pound this thing in. And when I drive a spike into a surface, everything within 3 meters falls towards that surface until I reclaim the spike.
Okay. So you basically want to try to like trap this thing in a gravity.
It'll like suck it up into the wall.
Great. Go ahead and make me a plus tough roll to see if you can drive the spike deep enough into the ice to cause it to lodge in there.
Gotcha. Success, a 9.
Yeah, you just smash with one of your fists this gravity python into the ice, and it starts sucking things toward it. Unfortunately, because Tengu and Orochi and the Wendigo are basically engaged in this struggle, they both begin sliding towards this python. It won't be able to wiggle its way free to get anybody else, but Tengu and Orochi are still in danger.
And I'm like, you idiot!
I am trying to provide a valuable service.
Rain Petal. That barrage of suppressive fire was quite bought your friends a few precious seconds. But it looks like they're all now currently. Belyaga's struggling to get up. Vistat has just driven this spike into the wall. Tengu and Orochi are tangled up with the Wendigo that's still trying to get into it. Like looks like it's trying to reach in and tear apart Tengu and Orochi's power core. You may be the only chance they have to survive. What are you going to do out of this?
Could I create a ring of water around the throat of the Wendigo, and then as it freezes, close it around the throat?
Wow.
Dark.
Yes. Terrifying water ghost person. You can do that. Go ahead and make me a barrage roll. And if it's a success, yes, you can do that.
All right. Yes!
Yes!
That's it. Tengu and Orochi are watching this thing try to like claw up your arm to tear apart the servos in your shoulder, and all of a sudden, like all the ambient moisture in the air around the Wendigo's neck begins to like you can actually it like starts to collect in a ring, and you can see this happen. And then all of a sudden it constricts, and as it's constricting, it forms this like icy, almost like razor blade, and just and then the Wendigo's head just flops forward. And as the water continues to constrict, the head falls off at your feet. The Wendigo's dead.
I should have done that before. Sorry about Charlie.
Always remember to spay and neuter your pets and keep them collared, or else.
Yaga plays with the head like a ball. Joy.
And Tengu and Orochi are still stuck to the wall.
So you're telling me you could have done that at any time?
Apparently so. Yes.
Cool. That's cool. Decapitating ghost girl. That's cool. Decapitating ghost
free.
girl. That's cool. Onward.
Vistat will pull out the python, and then the gravity disperses.
Sure. You do notice that now you've created this nice weak point in the ice wall that was blocking your progress. If your plan was still to blast your way through it, you may have by driving that big old spike through the wall, you may have provided a great place to try to tunnel through, if that's still your plan.
Eliaga, do you still have one more shot in you?
I have one cannon. I have one shell left. Yes. I don't know why my brain decided to make me say that 4 times, but here we go. Yaga will put a shell into their cannon.
All right.
And they're gonna fire the laser.
All right, make one more barrage roll, but because the ice has already been weakened because of the gravity python, go ahead and give yourself a +1 bonus on top of any of your other stat bonuses.
Barrage roll. +1. Let's do this.
No!
Oh no!
Hey, Jim. Hate you so much.
However, as the GM,
yes,
I always have the option to allow you to succeed. This will give me an extra token to use later, but I think this is an appropriate moment to do it. You lower the cannon, and you almost slip again, but catch yourself at the last second. And then the cannon goes off, and you actually get driven back across the ice a few feet as the cannon recoil blasts you backwards. But when the smoke clears, there is now a giant hole in the ice blocking the way out of this tunnel. And as you're looking at the map, you realize that the blue line will actually take you all the way to the end of the subway tunnels.
Hey!
As you rush along, you begin to hear the howling of the wind outside. You begin to see the end of the tunnel up ahead, and you have now successfully escaped the freezer.
Yay!
Completing scene 2.
Hey.
Nice.
Moving us in to the end game of scene 3. This time, you guys are headed into Tipper Quarry. As you exit the subway tunnels, Mac looks at you all, and over the howling wind, she's like, "We've got to get to the quarry. I've got a transport waiting there. That's gonna get me out of here. You guys want? You can come with me on the transport, or you can head back to the city. It doesn't make any difference to me. You just got to get me there safely. Let's go."
Scoop them up.
Scooping them up. Heading on. Remember, at this point, all of you get to flip over your last ultimate move card. Your character is now fully realized. You should note as well that, for example, I'm looking on Rain Petal's ultimate move. This one not only gives you the new move that you can do, but it also gives you a little stat bonus. So if you see that you have a stat bonus, that'll, anytime now Rain Petal rolls Sly, she has an extra +1. So keep that in mind as you are looking at your new ultimate moves. You also increase one of your stats. One cool thing about this game is, since it's card-based, each character has a selection of cards, and every game you play 2 regular moves and your super move, but there are other cards that aren't used, so you can actually play another game with Bel Yaga and have a completely different set of moves.
Wow.
That's cool.
It's actually really cool the way they set it up. The same goes for so for example, our backdrop in this game is Tipper City, but and Tipper City has a number of main storylines, but you can play in Tipper City and there's like 5 other storylines that you can play, and there are a bunch of other backdrops that also have their own storylines. So depending on what combination of cards come up, you can play through sort of like the same areas but have different scenarios every time. It's good stuff.
Nice.
So
That's
great
why
for
we set up.
replayability.
Yes, indeed. So, just beyond the city limits lies a gaping chasm within the frozen bedrock. Gold, oil, and Atma have been quarried over the years as generations worth of mining equipment accumulated. Safety mishaps have left the site shut and abandoned. as you make your way there, you know that somewhere in the quarry, Mac has a transport waiting that will take her, and anybody who wants to go with her safely away from Tipper City, with your loot in tow. However, we have to choose a scene goal. Should we trap a powerful foe deep within the mines, or do we need to dig up a power cell from a satellite buried in the rock?
Digging sounds fun. New fun things to learn about.
And our robot friend used to be a satellite, so it'd be like a family reunion.
It would be.
Yeah. Look, I made a lot of enemies. Can't say I'm excited. Can't say I'm excited about that option.
A power cell can act as the powerhouse for the robot.
I could also yeet it from my cannon.
More power, more days alive, more human food. Digging, that's where my vote is.
So you all arrive at the quarry and find the transport fairly easily. But as you get to this transport, you realize that the Snow Devil has actually caused the power cell in the transport's motor to freeze solid and crack. You realize very quickly that you're going to need a replacement. However, in the quarry, luckily, there is a lot of other abandoned mining equipment, and so there is hope that you'll be able to dig something out from the snow and ice and find a replacement power core for this transport so that you'll be able to safely get away. However, the first thing that's going to happen as you guys are standing there trying to make a plan, trying to sift through and find out how you're going to get this power core and get it installed, I'm going to spend some tokens to have... I gotta find the card that I was looking for.
So many tokens, Jim.
Yeah, someone take his tokens away from him.
That's why I gotta spend them all. I am gonna spend a token to play Armored Caravan. As you guys are standing around wondering what the heck it is you're gonna do, in the distance, you see lights. You hear the sound of approaching vehicles, and you realize that somehow, maybe the smugglers in the tunnels got caught and betrayed you. Maybe this is a random patrol. But either way, there is an armored caravan headed right for the quarry, and you know that you are on a time limit and that very soon this place is going to be crawling with Conclave troopers. What do you guys do? You got to find a power core so that this transport can get up and away. What are you going to do?
How far away is the caravan?
Make a realize roll to try to judge the distance. It's really difficult in the blizzard to get a good, an accurate sense for everything. It's so disorienting out here. So reach out with your scanners and give me a realize roll.
Okay, and realize roll calm. Go ahead and do that. Woosah. Oh!
Fail.
I said woosah!
So tell me how this goes wrong.
So I start running my background processes to try to detect how far the caravan is. And then, or Tengu does. And then Orochi goes, oh, there's a food! And then he goes, what? Where? In his head. I'm like, oh, never mind, it wasn't a food. Wait, did I F that up? And indeed, I had effed it up.
Well, I can make us all invisible from the caravan at the very least, I think.
That could be useful.
Yes, and might be able to teleport us within the darkness.
Oh.
What?
Wait. You're telling me you could have done that at any point?
Oh,
this is a pattern with you.
This is a new skill that just came into my mind I'd never thought of before.
Ah.
Right.
What?
Sounds perfectly safe. I'm in.
You just remembered that you can make things invisible and transfer. Sure, fine, whatever. I'm into whatever.
Oh, okay. I will attempt it.
As you are all standing there, I'm gonna, as was noted, I have all these tokens, and this whole process between you guys trying to make a plan, Tengu and Orochi trying to reach out with their sensors, becoming distracted, and you guys trying to discuss what you're gonna do. The sort of head, the forward troops in the caravan show up, and you realize they're not troops at all, so much as the lead vehicle is something known as a mecha peacekeeper. These things are typically meant for clearing city streets of trash and snow, but they are also sometimes used as like riot control devices, and they are known to be very beefy, very menacing, and very dangerous. And one actually comes into view, sort of like snow drifts blasting off of it as it creates a path for the other vehicles in the caravan. And you all hear over the howling winds a klaxon go off as this mecha peacekeeper detects you and notifies the rest of the caravan that there are intruders at the quarry. That is going to cost me some tokens, but then I know that you had a plan,
To make us
Rain Petal, so what do you do?
Except for my eyes. I did that and rolled a 13.
Mm-hmm.
A 13. So as this mecha peacekeeper plows the way for the rest of the caravan, you make you and all of your allies momentarily invisible. What do you guys do? You guys are now undetectable. What are you gonna do? You have perhaps bought yourself some time to get away before you are swarmed by troopers.
Well, I've got one thing,
Yeah?
and it's everything.
Oh.
It's a little something called the fireworks, and I can blast off everything I have all at once. But if I somehow fail to do it, it's everything I've got. So we got one shot at this, guys. If you want to go this route right now. You can save it for later. Just letting you know, it's everything. Everything I've got.
Do it.
Do it.
You
guys ready for some fireworks?
Yeah.
Do it.
Should I do it?
Do it.
You can do it if you want to do it.
I think that's barrage, right?
So this specific one, the Sky Full of Fire ability that you're trying to use, specifically as a plus tough roll. So for this one, you just arm all of your missiles and fire them at all of the targets.
All right.
And you get an extra +1 tough.
Ooh,
Oh, this is good. All right, so I arm them and then I go, today we celebrate our Independence Day, and I fail.
You gotta tell me how this goes wrong.
I'm so wrapped up in my one-liner that I forgot to activate the tracking. So you get a lovely display of fireworks,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't hit as many targets as would have made that one-liner worth it.
It's basically just a really, really unfortunate fireworks show. Missiles
Brutal.
just streaking across the night sky and exploding. At this point, revealing your location, I'm going to spend 1 token to have the Mecha Peacekeeper see this, hone in on your location, and destroy everything in its path. It is going to bear in on your location and attempt to just plow through the group of you. You have seconds to react. Let's start. I'm actually just going to go in order. I want to know what each of you do to try to get out of the way of this mecha peacekeeper. Anybody who doesn't get out of the way is going to suffer some harm. Rain Petal, you created that darkness. I know that you do have. There's another effect for that too. You can teleport any location within the darkness. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you do?
I would like to reactively teleport.
Sure.
I mean, teleport each person in it once, so I can teleport all of us.
Right.
And I will try that.
I would say that with the reaction that you have, the reaction time that you have to teleport everybody, I would want a hasty roll, and for every other person that you want to teleport, will give you a -1 penalty. You can teleport yourself for free in this sort of split second, but if you want to teleport any other person, it's going to need a hasty roll with a -1 penalty for each other person other than yourself that you want to teleport.
All right, let's try it. So, other than myself, so
-3, get everyone.
yeah.
Well, there's Mac too, and you gotta keep her alive.
And the Wendigo. Oh no, it's dead. That's
and you can choose like just to teleport yourself or just teleport yourself with one other person. They'll have a moment to react as well. I'm just letting you know, like, if you want to save the whole group, it's hard, but you could try.
Gonna try.
All right,
go.
She's going for it. She's going for the hero moment.
Woohoo!
All right, so if you want to teleport everybody, yeah. Okay, so how does this go wrong? You try to teleport yourself within the darkness. You're trying to react so quickly to get all of your friends. What goes wrong?
I feel like whenever I try to teleport, I get confused about the where I'm pulling from and where I'm ending, and instead I kind of teleport us all back into the same location, except some of us are like on top of each other.
Oh no. Oh no. So you all feel this wild moment of disorientation, and suddenly you're like in a pile with Rain Petal at the bottom of it. Rain Petal, you're not going to be able to get out of the way. You're definitely going to suffer some harm from this charging mecha peacekeeper. However, everybody else still does have an opportunity to react. Tengu and Orochi, what are you going to do?
So we're just in this pile now?
Yeah, you felt like the whole world shift, and you realized that Rain Petal tried to do something but couldn't quite pull it off. You still are gonna have to get yourself out of danger.
I'm gonna go like bear guy.
I will note.
You have cannons. What the heck?
I am out of ammo.
I will note, Tengu and Orochi, that one of the first abilities that you had was this rocket jump. That might be an interesting way to try to avoid this charging mecha peacekeeper, but it's up to you what you want to do.
Oh, but if I rocket jump, I mean, doesn't it target me? And no
rocket
else?
jump is basically just like you're trying to leap out of the way. You basically just like, it's like a brief like thruster boost to try to jump out of the way of something.
But I'd be ditching my pile. I've gotten very attached to this pile.
Okay.
Right?
Well, what I'm saying is like everybody is going to get it. Like basically everybody gets one thing they can try to do to try to get out of the way. So this is like, imagine this is like bullet time.
Okay.
Rain Petal tried her thing, it didn't work. She's not going to be able to get out of the way. You're now trying your thing. Like everybody does have a chance to get out. However, you guys should keep in mind that Mac needs to be saved. So somebody can try to grab her as well.
Can I am I able to grab Mac and rocket jump? Or
yeah, I will definitely. That sounds like a great idea. Again, if you're going to try to grab Mac, there'll be a -1 penalty on your roll, but otherwise you can definitely do it.
All right, I'm going to grab Mac. I'm going to say, sorry, I usually buy you dinner first. And then I'm going to attempt my rocket jump.
Okay, you need to roll plus calm. Remember, there's a -1 penalty as you tried to grab Mac.
Okay, so how do I do that on here? Let's see.
So I actually don't have the dice roller available. So does somebody else?
So I minus
at the top. There's like a minus and plus thing.
Okay, so I -1 there.
Yep.
Then I select
and then,
+1 calm.
Yep.
Easy peasy. Then I roll.
Then you roll, just like normal, yeah. Uh-oh.
Not my day. Not my day.
So now you can tell me how this goes wrong. You try to grab Mac. You're in this pile. You realize you've got to get out of the way. You grab onto Mac, and then what happens?
And I ready myself for my rocket jump, not realizing that I've expended all my fuel on that impressive fireworks display, and I. I'm like, all right, someone else now.
You moved only a few inches. You're definitely not going to be able to get out of the way of this charging mecha peacekeeper. Vistat, again, we're in sort of like bullet time. This is all happening like in an instant. So what do you try to do to get out of the way of this?
So Vistat has come to realize their relationship with the moon and gravity, and will activate Moon Call, and he will have his own gravity and jump up.
All right.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Yeah, you try to just reduce your own gravity, making a hasty roll. Are you gonna? Mac is still in danger. Are you gonna make any attempt to try to help her? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I guess either way. I was gonna say if I'm successful, but seeing the failure happen, this is mission protocol. So Vistat is going to try to scoop Mac with them.
All right.
If he can.
Right, so go ahead and make your hasty roll, but it's going to be that -1 penalty as you try to include Mac in this.
Got it. So there's that and that. Okay.
Oh gosh. This is
Wow.
We had so
Why
many
is
successes
this
in the beginning.
Guys, your rolls. They all garbage. What?
All right, Xander, tell me how this goes wrong.
Yeah, so Vishnat really feels this connection. I am one with the earth, and grabs Mac and then leaps and is one with the earth and accidentally sort of doubles his gravity and comes sinking down, sinking further into the ice just a little bit.
Oh no. Belyaga, you also have your sort of bullet time reaction. What are you attempting to do to get out of the way of this charging mechanism?
Yeah, I'm starting my TTRPG bull spit real quick. Jim, would you say that this thing is made out of metal?
Oh, it's definitely made out of metal.
So you would say that it's made out of metallic objects?
Sure.
And would you say this thing is coming near Belyaga?
It's going to come near you. Oh yeah, it's going to be real near you.
But Belyaga's going to activate their ability called Cold Iron, which they conjure icy spikes to conjure from a nearby metallic object to attempt to derail its trajectory.
Oh!
I get down on that. Yeah, that's great. So you basically try to form like a roadblock, which will cause the mecha peacekeeper to just like kind of like roll up on these spikes and flip over instead of rolling over your companions. I buy it. In fact, I will say that if you succeed, then you will actually prevent this mecha peacekeeper's charge and no one will take any harm. But if you fail, then everyone will have taken harm from the charging mecha peacekeeper. So go ahead and make your plus calm roll.
I think I've only got one health.
Yes!
There he is.
Oh.
7!
The
Boom,
last
shakalaka.
possible second.
Oh man.
As you guys are just like disoriented from this weird attempt to teleport you, then Vistal tries to change his own gravity to leap out of the way, and Tengu and Orochi is trying to rocket jump, but they don't have enough fuel left, and Belyaga, noticing that his entire team is about to be steamrolled by this giant mechanical snowplow, just gets in front of all of you, hunches down, and these massive ice spikes just burst out of their body. The mecha peacekeeper rams into Belyaga, but gets lifted up by the growing spikes and flipped onto its back, preventing it from rolling over any of you. Rain Petal, I know that earlier you had actually added the harm, so go ahead and remove that if you can. Because you won't take it, because Belyaga has saved the day at the last second. The mecha peacekeeper on its back is going to take quite a while to try to like right itself. It's like a turtle on its back now. It's still dangerous, but if you can keep your distance from it, it's no longer a threat. However, the remaining vehicles in that caravan, you can still see their lights quickly approaching. And you also see that charging down the road is a massive Titan in conclave armor, the leader of a battalion of conclave troopers, a famously violent, super strong soldier known as Captain Grain, begins charging across the snowy landscape. The mecha peacekeeper is out of the way, but you guys are in by no means out of danger. What do you do?
Fastball special.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Fastball special. So Mac is standing there like, maybe we should retreat into the quarry. And Tengu and Orochi is like, nope. Stands up.
Wait a second. Fastball special.
Fastball special. All right.
Now I have to say, if I get fastball specialed, if Orochi gets fastball specialed, Tengu has no. It starts to power down until Orochi returns. So if I fail, you guys have to retrieve me from this thing and return me to Tengu, or we both die. Those are the stakes.
Got it.
So what do you say, bub? Are we ready to fastball special?
That's up to you.
Jim Jam, could the stat assist with their ability Corrupted Vessel? Since this is about possession, which Orochi's going to go over and try to take control of this thing, sort of adding on, if I succeed in a roll, to the possession?
Yeah, I would say that you could try a burst of corrupting energy to try to disrupt Captain Green, making him easier to manipulate and control. Go ahead and make a roll your plus tough for that ability.
Okay.
And if you succeed, then we will give Tengu and Orochi a +1 bonus on their attempt.
Nope. So no
Failed.
matter.
A burst of corrupting energy that deflects harmlessly off the charging Titan, Captain Grain. He is like, it's like the Hulk just charging forward as Tengu and Orochi lines up and begin, and like Tengu grabs this fallen satellite off the top of its body and hucks it forward. And we're gonna need that roll from you, Tengu and Orochi. That's a plus sly.
All right, let's see. Sly, I'm a +1. All right, here we go. Here we go. Ah!
Yes!
Get
Ah!
bodied.
This
All right.
little satellite goes hurling forward. As soon as it detaches from Tengu, you guys see the big war mech like power down and is just standing there. And there's this moment of sort of almost terror as you await to see the satellite Tengu or Orochi. You like land on top of Captain Grain, and you have these power coils. You start digging into his armor, trying to take control of the powered armor that he is wearing. And what do you want to do? So you have a couple of things you could try to do here. You try to control or animate it. So if you take control of the powered armor that Captain Grain is wearing, and what do you want it to do?
So does this captain command all the other thingies?
You can try, if you want to set, like, he has a line of communication to the rest of the Conclave caravan.
But what's keeping us from our shuttle that we need to go to?
You are trying
power.
you needed to get a new power core.
Oh, I see. All right, well, and the power core is located under.
I don't know.
The hope was that you would be able to find a usable power core in some of the mining equipment, although those caravan trucks certainly would have power cores themselves, as would the now flipped over mecha plow that you have.
Can I
temporary.
command them to eject their power cores?
I mean, you can. that would be like a super weird order for them to get. I don't know that they would do that. And the thing is, like, so basically you control devices, and Captain Grain is a living person who is basically in this suit of powered armor. You have control of the powered armor, so you can kind of sort of physically control him for a bit until he can regain control of his systems. But imagine it more like an Iron Man suit, where like you have control of his physical body, but you can't really like make him say something.
Okay. I'm kind of a jerk, so I'm just gonna make him floss for a little bit.
Sure. You basically just make him stop. You could make him like, he's this big hulking brute. You could actually make him like stand in the way of the oncoming caravan trucks, and basically act as like I'm
gonna do that.
Roadblock. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that while flossing, hopefully.
Sure. So basically, Captain Crane is charging towards the group, and all of a sudden, as Orochi takes over his powered armor, Captain Crane turns and like lowers his shoulder, and just like one of the oncoming trucks slams into him. There's this massive collision. Orochi, you are flung off of Captain Grain, and you go rolling into the snow. You guys realize that unless somebody can go and retrieve Orochi, he's lost. But the truck is utterly destroyed. And what are the rest of you doing? Captain Grain is still standing there, and there's a few seconds where he's like you can see the powered armor is shorting out, but very slowly he like gets up and turns, and you can see that like somehow he has survived this wreck. Like whatever brute force he is capable of, and the protection from his armor has actually kept him alive. He's still a danger. The other truck in the caravan is utterly smashed. What do you guys do?
Come get me, guys. Just this little satellite in the snow.
Belyaga is going to turn over to...
deal a harm to Captain Grain. Sorry, go ahead.
Do that. Belyaga is going to turn over to Rain Paddle and says, "You should find the power cord in the truck. I'm going to go deal with the problem." And then Belyaga is going to go over to Captain and bite the crap out of him.
A bite?
Not any kind of bite. The jaws of winter, sir.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I did not mean to imply it was any mere bite.
Yes.
You're going to use the jaws of winter. Okay. Possessed by cold fury, you rumble. On a 7+, you also freeze and slow them.
wow.
On a 10+, you may bite down on an extremity and turn it into a solid black ice. Dang. Sure. Go ahead and roll that hasty roll.
I get a plus. Wait, what?
Sorry, it's a rumble. So I don't know why I said hasty.
Yeah,
rumble.
no, it's a tougher hit, but hold on. Is my haste +2? Oh, my haste is +2 because I have this roll. Okay, that makes more sense. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect roll.
So Captain Grain is trying to like regain control of his systems, sees this mecha bear charging at him, raises a fist and tries to bring it down, but you, moving lightning quick, manage to clamp your jaws down around his arm, releasing this exhalation of icy cold breath. The already damaged armor, it's just like pouring liquid nitrogen all up this guy's arm, and it freezes solid. And as you crunch down even further, the whole arm just shatters. I'll deal another harm to old Captain Grain, and he falls down, face down in the snow, and doesn't move again. You're not sure if he's dead or just disabled at this point, but you know that he's not getting up. Maybe ever.
Ursa Major.
At this point, the armored caravan has been completely destroyed. The one truck was smashed into Captain Grain. Captain Grain himself completely disabled. The mecha peacekeeper is struggling on its back, still unable to right itself after being flipped over by Belyaga. What do you guys do?
Oh my god, someone come get me.
Yeah. Vishat will go and try to reassemble Tango and Orochi.
Sure. As you like search through the blizzard, I do need you to make a realize roll to try to find the fallen satellite.
Let me see. Realize is bright or calm, and I've got some calm. Let's calmly search the snow.
Sure.
Critical hit.
Nice. Wow.
13.
Oh, now you guys are doing great. All
right?
right.
Now when it matters.
Yeah, it's just a matter of a few moments. You find buried in a snowbank, there is this little bundle of flailing wires and glowing bits. And
I'm like, thank you. I'm so sorry. I made the guy dance instead of doing something more useful.
You were adequate in your help. Thank you, friend. I shall assist you.
It was hilarious, though, right? Say it was hilarious. It was funny, though, right?
It was humorous.
Thank you. Worth. Hashtag worth.
Do it for the vine.
Orochi is reunited with Tengu. The battle mech powers back up as soon as you slot Orochi back in place. What are you guys doing next? You guys have defeated the caravan, and there's no other present danger, but you still need that power core.
While they're doing that, I will try and search all of this wreckage we've created to see if I can find a power core.
Sure. Make a realize roll.
Nice. Ooh, yes. I will calmly search. I am very calm. Yes!
Yeah!
You succeed. Yeah, you find an old mechanized rock drill meant to tunnel deep into the quarry and retrieve Atma ore. And as you're digging through the components, you see that the power core is both active and charged. There is a charged and active power cell.
Yay!
However, there is also a security protocol that awakens when you sort of like dig into the device, and a voice calls out in the blizzard, says, this is property of step away or explode in 5 seconds.
Uh-oh.
What do you do?
This thing might explode.
How many seconds did it say? Did anyone hear how many seconds it said?
It said seconds.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for that. Thank you for that.
Has anyone seen Mac?
Oh, Mac?
Mac like crawls out from under. You can see that she's like shaken, but otherwise unharmed. She was like hiding under the bulk of the transport.
Good instincts. You are weak, and we must leave.
But as you guys can, you hear this like as you're standing there, you hear like the voice is continuing, like 18, 13.
Bill Yaga.
You guys do.
Bill Yaga puts the power core into their cannon and yeets it.
Yes!
We needed that.
Well, the thing is, the power
cannon.
core, the problem is you have to get it out of the machine that it's hooked into right now.
Oh.
And as you're looking at it, you realize that the power core itself isn't set to explode. There is some kind of security device attached to the machine itself to prevent theft that will simply destroy the machine. It's a very common tactic with a lot of bigger corporations to create a scenario in which the machine will be destroyed, but you are criminally liable for all of the damages. Then you become indebted to the company you attempted to steal from, and it becomes this whole big thing where basically you end up as an indentured servant to one of these mining companies for like the better part of 3 decades. This one, the danger isn't so much that as it is the power core, and anybody near this device will be blown to smithereens unless somebody can stop the countdown.
The card reader do anything?
Card reader was traded away, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right.
I would say, Bel Yaga, you could just try to rip apart the security. Like, there is a security device that you could try to rip out and yeet.
Yeah,
Or maybe try to freeze it?
Yeah, Bel Yaga's
Or
actually
yeah, you
gonna
could try to
bite
freeze it, or yeah,
and
anything,
breathe
anything
on
that
it.
you guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what was it that you were going to try to do? Sorry, I missed
I'm
it.
going to try to bite the security box protocol, wherever's controlling it.
Yeah. Bite
And,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
Jaws of Winter that thing.
Jaws of Winter, that thing. Sure, I like it. Go ahead and make
Jaws of Winter.
make a rumble roll.
Success!
Yeah!
Bel Yaga's the most efficient bear.
Winter is coming.
I've ever played.
Wow.
You find this explosive security device and decide to bite it, which works. Your jaws clamp down on it. Once again, the whole device sort of freezes and then shatters under the bite of your jaws, harmlessly disabling the explosive properties. Now you're able to extract the power core safely, quickly installing it in the transport, which then powers up thanks to Mac, who's sitting now in the driver's seat. Says, well, I'm leaving Tipper City for a while. Suggest all of you come with, but at the same time, it's up to you. Who's getting on? Who's staying back?
I
Hey,
will go.
Mac. Is there food where you're going? Human food?
Well, I also need that to survive, so I sure hope so.
Say no more. I'm in.
All right. Pile onto the transport, which quickly lifts off and races across the night sky, leaving the blizzard-stricken city of Tipper City far behind. You've completed Scene 3. You've completed the story goal of keeping Mac alive long enough to get her out of the city. And that concludes our very first game of Atma. Hooray!
Woo!
GG.
It was a good time. GG, everybody. GG indeed.
If anyone's wondering, always play the bear.
Yeah.
We're getting raided right now.
Hey,
We
welcome,
are.
raiders.
We've been raided by. Who's raiding?
I don't know. Someone yelled
Welcome,
raid.
everybody.
Shattered Tabletop Games.
Oh, thank
Nice.
you.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We were just finishing up our playthrough of Atma, which is a role-playing card game that I've never played before. So if you guys are curious, how much prep do you need? Not much. I've never played before, and I ran a whole game, and it was fun. We had a good time. It is a game developed and produced by Meromorph Games, and their Kickstarter is the main campaign is over, and it was funded. But that just means that if you make a late contribution using the link that we will put in the chat, you are pretty much guaranteed to get a set of the cards for the game, because it's going to be produced because the Kickstarter was successful. So those late contributions are just buying the game, basically. It is a lot of fun. Designed to be played in 2 hours. I mean, with all of our BSing, we still got through it in about 2 hours. Like, if you just take out all the goofiness from us, that's about how long the game would have taken straight through. I had a lot of fun. Huge thanks to Meromorph for sponsoring this stream and letting us try out their game in front of all of you. A huge thank you to all of you for joining us and hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun. And a huge thanks to the players for coming on board and lending me their crazy creativity so that we could create a story about biting and blowing things up and mecha plows and turning into raindrops. It was a good time.
As is tradition.
Wonderful experience. If you all are looking to play Atma yourselves, try it out before it comes out, you actually can using the browser-based virtual tabletop that we were using all night. It is atma.meromorph.com. That is where you can log in with a couple of your friends and play the game for free. that is going to be available until the cards are produced. Once the cards are produced, I believe the VTT goes offline. That's what I read on their blog. But they're basically letting everybody try it for free. So if you are at all looking to have a good time, and again, since it's online, it's all virtual, socially distanced and good stuff. They have, it looks like in the chat, they're saying most of it goes offline. Tipper City is still going to be available. So you guys will still be able to play the Tipper City backdrop. Again, they have currently a whole bunch of other backdrops available. So you don't have to play through the adventure we played through. There's all kinds of scenarios that you can play through. And there's a ton of other characters available, all of them just as crazy as the ones that you all played tonight. So definitely check that out. And if you like it, make sure that you secure a set on that Kickstarter with a late contribution, because they will produce the physical cards in the next few months and send those out to all the backers. So I would recommend getting it. I think I'm done spieling. I had a great time. I'm going to get out of here and try to process all the craziness that just happened. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you some other time. We've got more streams coming up. I know that we owe you guys a schedule of DAT Network streams. I can tell you that we've got Troubles in Otari tomorrow night, so make sure that you check out Official Paizo's Twitch channel for that. You'll see Xander there as well. But if we don't see you on Otari, then stay tuned to the DAT Network social media channels for announcements on when our next streams are going to be. But that's it for me. We're out of here. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.